Well, folks, I've got some news for you. Ilhan Omar thinks that Americans who voted for President Trump are just plain stupid, calling the second Trump presidency a result of the, quote, dumbing of America. We got it all on video right here. We're going to take a look at this. But before we get into this, I just want to say how much I appreciate all of our new subscribers we have on our channel here. But if you're new here, drop down below, hit that subscribe button, make sure you never miss another video from us in the future. So we're going to take a look at this video. Ilhan Omar was being interviewed by Mehdi Hassan. Let's just take a listen.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm at the point where it's become really hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans. And the fact that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because how else do we get a Trump presidency again?
How else do we get a Trump presidency again? I don't know. Maybe that the alternative that was offered was so terrible that they have to pick, they have to choose between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Doesn't it make sense why we chose Donald Trump? It makes perfect sense to me. Just saying that. But here, I'm going to go on a limb and I'm going to say I slightly agree with Ilhan Omar. I agree that the dumbing of America is here. But the second Trump presidency is not a result of the dumbing of America. It's a repudiation of the dumbing of America. There are Americans who have been dumbed down by the education system. They have been dumbed down. They are circles that are trying to fit into a square mold. It's as simple as that. The second Trump presidency was a repudiation of the dumbing of America. And Omar claims that it's hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people. And I'm assuming that she's referring to anyone who voted for President Trump. And once again, I'm going to partially agree with her here. There is a big portion of the electorate that you cannot have an intellectual discussion with. Those are the people who will not accept the basic biological realities that there are two sexes. Very hard to have an intellectual discussion with those people. It's not something that is assigned at birth. It's not something that can be changed. It's something that becomes a biological reality at conception. Those are the people who are unable to engage in a discussion based in reality. That is the simple fact here. You cannot have an intellectual debate with someone who denies reality. You just can't. And that's who these people are. These are the followers of Ilhan Omar here. It's like, you want to talk about the dumbing of America? Look to the left. Look to the sheepish followers. Now, trust me, I'm sure there's plenty of sheepish followers on the right, but it is very, very prevalent on the left. There is absolutely no doubt about that. And she goes on to say that it's ridiculous that, quote, these people are allowed to say the most ridiculous things. Well, first of all, Congresswoman, it's not ridiculous. I know you're from Somalia and you may not fully understand this, but we have a First Amendment right here. And if you think that the Constitution is ridiculous, I honestly don't think you should be in Congress, especially that portion of the Constitution. You could say there were things in the Constitution that were unfair and unjust, and those should have been changed, and they were changed. That's wonderful. But if you think that freedom of speech, the First Amendment right, something that it's a constitutional God-given right. Remember, these are rights that are given to us by our Creator. These are not rights that the government gives us. It is our duty as American citizens to make sure that the government protects these rights. And I know you're from Somalia, you may not fully understand that, but that's okay. That's how wonderful we are here in America. Even if you hate America and you want to destroy America, we'll still elect you a congresswoman from the state of Minnesota. And this continues the Democrats on the same path that they have been on for a decade. And that really has been, this path they've been on has been rejected by the American people countless times. And they continue to not learn anything from the 2024 election. Instead of looking in the mirror as to why voters rejected her party, she decides it's because she is so intellectually advanced that continuing on the path of claiming to have some sort of intellectual capabilities above the average American It's like she believes that she is so far intellectually higher than people in the Republican Party or the America First Party. So instead of looking in the mirror, why could voters not connect with me? No, her intellectual superiority just continues to rise. She's just so much further above intellectually all of us lowlands down here. It's like that's really what she's claiming, is that us everyday folks don't have the intellectual capabilities that people, the elites like her, do. And let's just remember, this is a lady who came from Somalia who married her brother to get him here, to get him to stay here. So I really don't want to take any advice or listen to what someone has to say when someone cheated our immigration system and married their brother. Just going to throw that out there. But here's my 2 cents. I really truly believe she is dumber than most Americans. She represents the mindless sheep that continue to vote for this anti-Semitic terrorist sympathizer. How else could a large group of American citizens continue to vote for an anti-Semitic terrorist sympathizer who wants the complete and absolute destruction of the state of Israel? Because here's the thing, the Democrats can only be held hostage by the extreme left wing of the party before their party completely collapses. Because that's what's happening. The Democrats, your traditional Democrats, are held hostage by these radical left-wing lunatics that is going to cause the complete collapse of the Democratic Party. And the thing is, Americans can only take so much of this. They can only take so much of this insanity. This terrorist sympathizer, anti-Semitic, not based in biological realities. You think about it. The party that once fought for smaller government now defends the fraud waste that occurs in our government. You think back to FDR. Ultimately, he expanded the scope of our federal government, but he had campaigned on wanting to reduce the size of our government by 25%. Bill Clinton, second term and his first term, ran on wanting to reduce the federal workforce by 12, 13, or 14%. It's like Democrats used to be the party of smaller government. They used to be. Decades, and not even in Bill Clinton, it's like, he wasn't my favorite president, but he's also not my least favorite president. I can think of a lot of Democrats that are way worse than Bill Clinton. There's a lot of bad things that he screwed up on, especially you look at NAFTA. Totally screwed, gutted manufacturing in America. Shipped those jobs overseas to what country could basically enslave their people at the cheapest rate? There's no standard of what's going on, but that's just what happens. That's just what's happening to the Democrats right now. They're in a complete free fall. They don't know what the hell's what's gonna happen. And Trump just needs to keep plowing forward, doing the exact same thing he's been doing for the last month. So that's going to wrap up our video for today. Drop a comment down below, hit the like button if you like the video we got out for you today. And as always, subscribe. Don't ever miss another video from us again in the future. And until next time.